This conference will now be recorded.
No. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the picklist control, which is used to populate some set of values from which the user can select any one of the element. So in order to prepare the picklist control, we are using the help of a tag called as select list tag. Apex select list tag. By using this select list tag, we can able to prepare a picklist control which is used to populate some set of elements inside this, from which the user can select any one of that element whatever they need. Like if they want to select some industry from a collection of elements, if they want to select some rating value, if they want to select some country name from the collection of countries. So at that time, we need to populate those elements by using the picklist control. So at that time, in order to prepare that picklist control, we are using the help of a tag called as select list tag. So select list tag is used to prepare a picklist control. Now, so what are the various properties are available? Yesterday, we have discussed about that. Properties. As part of picklist control, we are having the various of properties are available. First one is the label property, which is used to specify the label information. Which is used to specify the label information which can be used to display along with the drop-down list. And the second property is multi-select property, which is used to indicate whether this picklist should be of normal picklist or multi-select picklist. If I'm passing the value true, then it will be a multi-select picklist. It should be a multi-select picklist. If I'm passing the value as false, that means multi-select equals to false. That means this is not a normal multi-select picklist. This should be a normal picklist one. Third one, we are having the property called as size. Size property is used to indicate an integer which will be describing how many number of elements to be visible at a time. If it is a picklist control, it should display only one element at a time. If it is a multi-select, how many elements you want to show? Number of elements to be visible, either 2 elements, 3 elements, 5 elements, whatever. We can indicate. Okay, we can indicate the number of elements to be get visible. Okay, inside this control. Now, the fourth property is we are going to be indicating this. The fourth property is we are going to be indicating the rendered property. The rendered property is used to indicate whether this particular control should be visible or not. Sometimes I want to make this control to be visible or invisible dynamically at runtime. So at that time we are using this rendered property. Next one, ID property. ID property is used to indicate the reference name. In order to indicate, in order to identify each and every picklist control uniquely inside your result first page, we are using the help of this ID property. Next, the sixth property is equals to value property. Value property is used to specify the variable name. Variable name. That means whatever the value that are selected inside this Picklist control, this value should be stored in which variable here. So we need to identify. For that reason, we are going to be using the help of this value property. So with the help of this value property, we can able to select the variable name. We can indicate the variable name in which this particular selected value has to be get stored. For that reason, we are using that property called as value property. Okay, now. So this is the way we are going to be using this Picklist control. But as of now, we have prepared only the Picklist control, but we haven't added any elements. How to add the elements over here? In order to add the elements inside the Picklist control, we are going to be using the tag called as select option. Select the option, and then we have to select the options. Two tags are available. In order to add the options, nothing but inside the Picklist control, what are the options you would like to populate, we can add with the help of the two tags, select option tag, select options tag. Okay. Now, so the select option tag is used to add only one option to the Picklist control. If you want to add only one option to the Picklist control, we are using the help of select option tag. Now, sometimes if you want to add multiple elements at a time, so that here we are using this select options. This tag is used to add the multiple elements. In order to add the multiple elements to the control at a time. In order to add the multiple elements to the Picklist control in one shot, we are using the help of select options tab. Then, how can we add the elements to the Picklist control? Now let's see practically in this case. By using the select option tag, how to add, I will show you practically. How to use select options also I will show you practically through programmatically also. Now, so first to go with that select option tag. So what is this tag and what are the properties are available? So select option tag is used to add only one option to the Picklist control. In order to add an option to the Picklist control, we are using this select option tag. Now, this tag is used to add only one element to the Picklist control. In order to add only one element to the Picklist control, we are going to be using the help of a tag called as select option tag. Now, so whenever we are going to be using this select option tag, this tag should be right inside that select list tag here. This should be a child component to select list. Why? Because we are adding an option to whom to the Picklist control. So within the Picklist tag, that means within the select list tag, we have to use this select option tag here. Right, previously we are using that. Inside the page block, we are using page block section. Like the similar way, inside the select list, we have to use select option because these options we are adding to this particular Picklist control. This tag should be a child component to the select list tag. This should be a child component to the select list tag. Then what are the various properties are available? As part of properties, the first one is item label. So now this item label property is used to indicate what will be the element, what will be the item you want to display inside the Picklist control. Whatever the element you want to display inside the Picklist control, we can specify that item label. Now, use it to specify the item or element label to be visible in the Picklist control. So in order to indicate what element, what option you want to display inside the picklist control, we are using this item label. Second one, item value. Item value here. So whenever I'm selecting this item, okay, whenever I'm selecting this element, then what value it has to return to the backend. To indicate that, we have to use item value property here. Now this is used to indicate the value to be returned. Value to be returned, okay, to the application. To the application upon selecting the element. Whenever I'm selecting the element, then at that time, so what value has to be get returned to the backend. So for that reason, we are using this property called as item value property. These are the two properties are available, okay, as part of this select option tag. So now let's see how can we use this select list tag and the select option tag, and how can we add the elements. Okay, now let's see practically in this case. Now, so let me show you that here. How can we prepare this one? Now, so let me go with a practical example. So let me log in into my Salesforce account. I'm preparing a Visual Force page to show all the input controls over here. Apex, Picklist control page. I'm giving the page name as Picklist controls page. So the page is not yet defined as of now with this name, so I'm creating a new page. So now let's see. So now let's see in this case, how can we prepare this picklist? I'm removing this default code which has been given by Salesforce, and then let me add the default properties. Setup property equals to false, sidebar equals to false, show header equals to true, tab style equals to order object tab style. And then I'm preparing the section header. Title equals to picklist. Subtitle equals to input controls. And I'm preparing a form tag. And inside this, I'm going to be indicating this page block. I'm giving the title equals to picklist controls block. And I'm preparing the page block section. Here I'm indicating that title equals to picklist controls section. number of columns equals to 1 and the collapsible option. Collapsible equals to. So now here I have prepared that the page block in the page block section. Inside this page block section, I would like to specify the pick list control. How can you place this pick list control? Now let's see. In order to place the pick list control, I am using the tag called as select list tag. Simply I'm placing select list tag, that's it. If I'm saving this one, it will be preparing a pick list control to you. It is preparing simply a pick list control. There is no values available, there is no label is available, nothing. So in this case, if you want to give some label along with this pick list control, then we have to use a property called as a label property. Label equals to select the country. Select the country. So it is going to be preparing the label over here. So it is indicating the label also for the pick list control. So now this pick list control is of type what? What type of pick list control you want? Normal pick list or multi-select? We can specify the property. Multi-select equals to false. I don't want multi-select, I want only normal pick list. And then size. Size equals to 1. Display only one element over here. So this is the pick list control which I have prepared. This is the pick list control. So, but there is no elements are available inside this. Okay, no elements are available inside this pick list control. Now I want to add the elements. How to add the elements inside this pick list control? For that one, we are going to be using a tag called as select option. Select option tag. Here we can specify the properties. Item label. Item label equals to, I'm indicating like as India. And the item value equals to some IND. I'm adding one element over here. Item label equals to India, and then item value equals to IND. So it will be adding that element. So India will be getting visible over here. So it is populating this element. So whenever I'm selecting this element, it is going to be sending this IND to the backend. It will be sending to the backend as IND. Now, I would like to add some more elements over here in my pick list control. So that select option tag should be a child component to select list. Nothing but within the select list only, we have to write this select option. I'm adding apex select option. Item label equals to United States. I'm indicating item value equals to USA. Select option. Item label equals to United Kingdom. Item value equals to UK. Select option. Item label equals to Australia. Item value equals to US. Apex. Select option. Item label equals to some China. Item value equals to CHN. Select option. Item label equals to some Japan. Item value equals to some JPN. Like that, I'm going to populating some elements. Inside my pick list control, it is populating all these elements. Whatever the elements we have added, all the elements will be getting available. Sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I want to add the none first. Okay, none element first. So in this case, simply we can able to specify this. Here we can specify the select option. Item label equals to none. item value equals to empty. So in this case, I'm indicating it as item value as empty. So initially it will be populating none, and from there we can able to see the remaining elements inside this. So it depends upon your application requirement. If you want to add some elements to the pick list control, we are going to be using the help of the select list tag and the select option tag. Select list tag is used to prepare a pick list control. Select option tag is used to add the options or the elements to the pick list control. Here one by one, one by one, one by one. This is how we are going to be preparing the pick list control. Now, how to prepare multi-selected pick list control? Now let me show you practically in this class. Now, let me prepare one more page block section. Apex page block section. Here I'm indicating the title as multi-select pick list section, and the number of columns equals to 1, and the collapsible equals to 2. Okay, collapsible equals to 2. I'm adding one more section. Here also I would like to prepare a pick list control. Here I'm preparing a pick list control. Apex select a list. I'm indicating the label. So I'm indicating the label. Label equals to select the hobby. Select the hobbies. And the size, how many number of elements to be get visible? I want to display only 3 elements at a time. And the multi-select equals to true. I want to display this one. That means multi-select pick list control. Let's see. So it is preparing a multi-select pick list control, but there is no elements are available inside this. I want to add the elements. How can we add the elements? Now let's see. I'm adding the elements over here by using select option. I'm adding this one like as some chess. Here also I'm indicating the chess. I'm adding the cricket. Here also I'm adding the cricket. And then I'm indicating some tennis. Tennis. I'm adding like as football. Here also I'm adding like as football. I'm adding like as some movies. Here I'm adding like as music. Here also music. Here I'm adding reading books. The same thing I'm adding here also. Simply I'm adding like as books. These are the elements I would like to populate inside this. So I'm preparing a multi-select pick list control, which should be able to display the 3 elements at a time. Remaining elements you can able to see, okay, by using the scroll bar. So here it is preparing a multi-select pick list control. Okay, it is preparing the multi-select pick list control. So we can able to see how many number of elements you would like to use. So depends upon your requirement, we can able to select those elements also. I'm going to be selecting those elements depends upon your requirement like this. So in this case, based on your application requirement, what are the elements that you want, we can able to select those elements also. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt. We
Yes.
can create this with point and click, both multi-select and single select. What's the use of writing this much code?
Now, in this case here, suppose for example, so if you want to add all your account record names inside this pick list control, what we can do? Generally, we can prepare the pick list control. There we need to add the elements like as countries. So at that time, how many countries we have? So many country names are available. So many area names. So many city names. How can you populate? Generally, we are going to be writing all these things inside the database. We can pick up those elements through programming. We can able to populate inside the pick list control in one shot. Because in the normal pick list we can't do. We can't add all the states manually here. That's what here, all those states information we are going to storing inside the database. From there, we can pick up those elements through by using an SQL query. We can populate those elements inside your Picklist control. For that reason, we have to use this tags. Okay.
Okay, sir, thank you.
So now here in
Excuse me,
this, yes.
sir. Sir, what this size means? Size is equal to 3 means those many elements we can select at a time.
No. How those many number of elements should visible at a time. Okay, here
Okay.
it is showing only 3 elements, right? Remaining elements you can able to see by using that scroll bar. Suppose if you want to show 4 elements at a time, then we can able to indicate the size as 4. Then we can able to see 4 elements at a time. See, 4 elements
Okay.
are visible. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So I have a question. How do we actually create two boxes and select what multi-pick list and move to the right side the box?
Then we have to use separately. Okay, we have to use our own button controls and we can able to add it over here.
Okay, so it comes on like Visual Force pages or XML or like that.
Yes. We can able to go with that options as well. Now,
How can we limit how many things we have to select?
now through programming we can limitation that. Through programming we can able to identify how many number of elements they have selected, and based on that we can indicate the limit. But ready-made properties are not available to restrict the number of number of options to be get selected. Okay. So now here in this case, let's see how can we do this. So now I would like to show the same elements in the form of checkbox. How can we display? So let me prepare one more section, one more page block section. I'm copying this whole section. I'm preparing like that. So I'm indicating like a checkbox control section. Checkbox controls. So I'm indicating checkbox control section. So I want to represent all this information in the form of checkboxes. Whatever the hobbies are available, I want to show these hobbies in the form of checkbox controls. How can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now instead of using the select list, we are going to be using a tag called as select checkboxes. Okay, select checkboxes. I'm indicating over here. Instead of this using the select list, we have to use a control called as select checkboxes. Here we can able to specify here. Size property is not required, multi-select property is also not required. Now, I'm indicating this. Whatever the options are available, these options I want to display in the form of the checkbox controls. Let's. So whatever the elements are available, each and every element will be available in the form of a checkbox. Suppose if you want to show inside the border, then you will be having a property called as a show border. Border visible. Border visible equals to, there is a property. Border visible equals to true, which is used to show the border also here. So it will be having a border control, so that we can able to show all these elements. So depends upon your requirement, we can able to represent these elements over here, so that we can select the multiple options also, depends upon your application requirement. So in order to populate the elements in the form of checkboxes, we are using the help of the control called as tag called as select checkboxes. Sometimes I want to show these country names in the form of radio buttons. How can we do that? So let me show. I'm using this page black section. So here we have added that pick list. I have added that multi-select pick list also in the checkboxes. Now I would like to add the radio button controls. In this case, we are going to be adding the radio button controls. Radio button controls. Instead of using this select list, we have to use the control called as select radio. Select radio. we have to use this select radio, and then here we have to specify that multi-select equals to false and the size equals to 1. Remove this one. These properties will not be supported. We can specify the border. Border visible equals to. Here we have to indicate that instead of select list, we have to use select report. So what are the elements we have populated right now? Okay, inside the Picklist control, these elements I would like to represent in the form of radio buttons. I don't want this none option over here. I'm indicating this. I'm removing this element. So we have to select any one of the country. Those country names will be getting visible in the form of radio buttons. So we can able to represent the pick list also, multi-select pick list also, checkboxes also, radio buttons also. If it is a checkbox, we can select multiple elements also. If it is a radio button, we can select only one. When you select the second one, previous one will be getting deselected automatically by default. This is having the inbuilt functionality by default inside this. Okay, select the radio check tag. So this is how we are going to be preparing the picklist controls and the multi-select picklist control, checkbox control, and the radio button controls inside your Visual Force program. These are the various tags are available. We are having select a list, select option, select radio, select the checkboxes. These are the various tags which we are using as part of your Visual Force programming in order to prepare the checkboxes, radio buttons, picklist controls, multi-select picklist controls also. Okay.
How can we represent field dependencies in this?
That we'll see in the next sessions. Okay. For that one, we have to use action support. We are using action support tag.
Is there any way that we can select from one page block section and the results we can display in another?
Sure. We can see that. We'll see that example also. As part of this action support, I will show you that example only.
Okay.
Sir, how can we access this selected item value in controller?
Yeah, that's what I will tell you, because here in the next example, I will show you that. Now, let me place this code. Design a Visual Force page to represent the picklist control along with the required options. Along with the required options. Now, so as of now, we have prepared the picklist control, picklist the multi-select control, radio button controls, and the checkbox controls. So, but when you go to the picklist control, we have populated the elements here. I have added some elements. How many? Some 6 to 7 elements I have added. How? Manually. So these are the elements we have added here. So to add each and every element, I have used a separated tag, and then we have written some separate line of code. Suppose if the number of elements are more than, I'm having some hundreds of elements. I want to add some thousands of elements. Then at that time, do I need to write the same select option, 1,000 times? No, I don't want to use that. I want to populate the elements to the picklist control in one shot. Collection of elements I want to populate in one shot. Then how can we do that? So in this case here, we are going to be using the tag called as select options tag. Select options tag is used to add the multiple elements to the control at a time. In one shot, we can add the multiple elements to the picklist control in one shot. Then how can we add? So in this case, what I want to do is, when coming to my picklist control, I want to collect all the elements, nothing but all the account record names from the database. I want to populate inside my picklist control. Whatever the account records are available inside the account object, I want to collect all the account record names and I want to display inside my picklist control. Then how can we collect? Whenever if you want to add the elements to the picklist control, okay, through programmatically, then we have to use a class called as, select option class. Select option is a ready-made class which has been given by Salesforce in order to add only one element to the picklist control. Picklist control through programming. Through programming, if you want to add one element to the picklist control through programming, we are using select option. Suppose if you want to add multiple, then what we can do? We have to use list of select option. Okay, list of select option to add multiple elements to the control through programming. Whenever if you want to add some multiple elements to the picklist control in one shot through programming, then we have to use the help of select option. So if it is a single, we have to use normal. If we want to add multiple, then we have to use list collection, list of select option. Then how can we use this select option tag over here in a select option class in order to add the elements? For that reason, what we need to do is here we have to create the object. The syntax is we have to specify select option. We have to use the tag called as select option class. In this select option class, we have to specify this option over here. Select option, we can specify the object name equals to new select option. Here we can specify the item value, comma item label. Item value, comma item label. Item label we have to specify as a second parameter. Item value we have to specify as a first parameter. So we have to create the object of this select option class, and then we have to specify the item which you are going to add, and then in that one we can specify the item label and the item value, and then we can add it to your collection, and then the collection of elements we can add it to the picklist control in one shot. So for that reason here what needs to be done, each and every element we have to prepare by using the select option class. Through programmatically we have to prepare this select option class, and then we have to add it to the collection. How to do that now? Let's see. For example, let me explain that. I want to add a collection of elements. So for that one, what I want to do is select option. Select option, some option one equals to new select option. I would like to add some elements over here. So what is that element I would like to add? IND, and then I'm adding that India. Like the similar way, I'm adding second option here. Option 2. Here I'm indicating like as AUS. This is nothing but some Australia. Third one, option 3. I'm adding like as some Japan. Japan. I'm adding this element Japan here. These are the 3 elements I have prepared. Once elements have been getting prepared, we have to add these elements to the collection. How to prepare the collection? We have to use that list collection. Okay, list collection. List of select option. LST options equals to new list of select option. We have to prepare a list collection over here, and in that collection we have to add these elements. How to add these elements here? When you know that here, LST option start add of option 1. LST option start, okay, add of the second option, and then third element we have added here. So 3 options are available inside my pick list control. That means inside my list control. Now we have to add all these elements to your pick list control by using in one shot with the help of select option start. So we have to prepare that pick list control here inside the pick list control, like as select list by apex select list. Here we have to add that select option tag, apex select options. We can specify the value. Value equals to specify the collection name where exactly the elements are available. Elements are available inside this list options. That's it in one shot. So what are the 3 elements are available? All these elements will be populating into my pick list control in one shot over here. This is how we need to add the elements to the picklist control through programmatically. With the help of this Apex programming, we can add the elements to the picklist control also with the help of select option tag and select option class along with the list collection. Whatever the options you would like to add, prepare these options by using select option class and then add these options to a list collection. Once all the elements has been added to the list collection, then populate this list collection of elements to the picklist control by using this select options tag. So select options tag is used to bind a collection of elements to the picklist control in one shot. Then how to do that? Now let me show you practically how to add these elements, how to add all the account record names to the picklist control in one shot. Now let's see practically. Now let's take a small use case. Design a visual first page to populate all the account record names into the picklist control upon loading the page. Whenever the page is getting loaded, I would like to populate all the account record names inside the picklist control. Now, so let's see how can we do this one. So let me prepare a user interface. I'm preparing the visual first page. Show account names page. I'm preparing a visual first page with the name show account names page. I want to populate all the account record names in the form of picklist control elements. How to do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now I'm indicating this. Now, I'm going to be indicating this. How can we add these elements? So let me show you practically. Let me give the default properties. Setup equals to false. Sidebar equals to false. Show header equals to true. And the tab style equals to solution object tab style. And then I'm preparing the section header. Title equals to accounts. Subtitle equals to all accounts. Apex font tag. Apex page block. I'm giving the title for the page block. Title equals to account records. And then I'm preparing a page block section.
Hello. Hello.
I think he's in mute.
Now. So now let's see how can we add this picklist control right now. So I'm adding this, the page black section. So I'm indicating the title. So I'm indicating the account records. Number of columns equals to 1. And the collapsible equals to collapsible equals to 2. So now here we are adding the page black and the page black sections. Inside the page black section, I would like to add a picklist control. In this picklist control, I would like to populate all the account record names inside this. Whatever the account records are available, it may be 100 accounts, it may be 20 accounts, whatever. All the account record names I would like to populate inside this picklist control. So now here I'm going to be adding this all the elements. So first of all, what needs to be done whenever we are preparing this picklist control? Select a list. Select a list. Label equals to, I'm indicating account record names. Account record names. And then size equals to 1. I want a normal picklist here. So I'm indicating multi-select. Multi-select equals to true. Sorry, multi-select equals to false. I don't want the multi-select picklist, I want only a normal picklist. So the picklist has been getting added. Now I would like to add the elements inside this picklist control. How can we collect that? Whatever the account record names are available inside my account object, all the account record names I would like to collect, and then those account record names I want to populate inside the picklist control. Then how can we collect that account record names? Then we have to use SOQL queries, where we can write this SOQL queries inside your Apex class. So let me prepare an Apex class. I'm going to be preparing an Apex class by preparing the controller. Controller equals to show account names controller. Show account names controller. So I'm preparing a controller class. Inside this controller class, I would like to prepare a constructor.
Screen is not means moving dynamically. Only I can hear your voice. The screen is got stuck, but the voice is coming. Yeah, now it came.
Now it is visible now.
Yes,
It is showing that. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's see. So inside this class, I would like to prepare a constructor, because whenever my page is getting loaded, I want to collect all the account record names from the account object, and those names I want to populate inside the picklist control. So here, whenever if you want to load the page, upon loading the page, if you want to do any operation, then we are writing the code inside the constructor. So I'm preparing a constructor. I'm preparing a constructor. Public show account names controller. So I'm preparing this constructor. Inside this constructor, I would like to write that SOQL query to collect all the account record names. Select ID of the account record, name from account object, order by name. Okay, order by name. So whatever the account records are available, I want to collect all the account record names from the account object, and I want to arrange those records based on the name column in ascending order. So I want to store all these account records information inside a collection, so that I'm preparing a collection. Public list of account list. I'm preparing this collection. List of account LST accounts. I'm going to be collecting all the account record names I'm storing inside this. But now what I want to do, whatever the account record names are available, I want to display this account record names inside this Picklist control. So if you want to add these names to the Picklist control through programmatically, what we have to do, we have to use the help of select option class. So we are going to preparing the select option class. So what I'm doing here, I'm preparing this. I'm reiterating this each and every account record. For each and every account record, SEC from the collection. I'm iterating each and every account record from the collection. I want to store this inside a list collection of select option. So I'm preparing a collection. Public list of select option. LST options. I'm making it as get and set, because these are the options which I would like to populate inside my Picklist control. So that here I'm going to be preparing this collection, so which will be storing all the elements which I'm going to be adding to the Picklist control. I'm creating the object of this collection over here. LST options equals to new list of select option. Now, so once the list collection is available, that means this list collection will be holding so many options which can be populated to that select list, nothing but to the Picklist control. So once all the account records have been getting collected, these account records I'm going to be converting in the form of the select options, so that here we can able to use select option equals to new select option. So we are going to be adding that acc.id, acc.name. So why I'm going to be indicating is acc name will be getting visible inside the Picklist control, and this ID will be passing to the backend, because here upon adding the elements we have to pass item label, item value. So we are going to be adding this here. So I'm preparing this each and every element, every account record I'm collecting here, account record name I'm adding inside that the label part, name ID I'm passing at the value part here. Once that element has been getting prepared, add this element to the collection. How to add LST options? LST options dot add of option. Each and every option I'm preparing over here, that option I'm going to be adding to the collection. So whatever the account records are available, every account record name I'm going to be preparing in the form of the Picklist option, and then those options I'm adding inside my collection. Once all the options are available inside the collection, then you can populate these elements to the Picklist control by using a tag called as select options. Affects select options. Select options value equals to, we can able to specify what is my collection name, LST options. That's it. So in one shot we can able to implement this functionality. So whatever the account record names are available, all the account record names will be getting populated into your control over here. LST options. It is adding all the elements. Whatever the account record names are available, all the account record names will be adding to your Picklist control in one shot. See, every account record name I can able to see inside my Picklist control. So which are arranged in the alphabetical order based on that name over here. I'm collecting all the account record names, these are populating inside this. So if you want to add some none option by default initially, so in this case here, before adding these elements here, okay, before adding these elements, we can able to add now. So what I want to do is I would like to prepare this element first. Before the for loop, I'm adding this element. I'm adding this none option. Here I'm indicating empty. Here I'm indicating that none. I'm adding this none option here. let's say. So that initially it is populating that none option. Okay. No. So I'm adding this element over here. So initially it is populating that option none, and then we can able to see the remaining options also. So whatever the options are available initially, we are having this option, and then we can able to select that options whatever you want. Like that here, we can able to add the elements to the picklist control through programmatically also. So whatever the elements are available inside your, whatever the records are available inside your object, we can collect all those account records names, and then we can able to populate inside your picklist control also. This is how we are going to be collecting the data from the database. We can populate inside your picklist control through programmatically. Okay, two ways we have discussed here. First way is through user interface. Second way is through programming, that means database. With the help of database also, we can able to do this one. The possibility is available to you. Okay, now. So do the practice on this one today. In the next session, we'll see how can we use the control called as, okay, how can we use the control called as, okay, action support. How can we implement the action support? Like for example, what I want to do is whenever I'm selecting this account like as some, okay, American Banking Corporation, immediately I want to populate this related contact, related opportunity, related cases over here. I don't want to place any button control. Whenever I'm changing the selection, if I'm selecting Dickinson PLC, it has to populate the related contacts, opportunities, cases. I want to show. How to implement that, we'll see practically in the next session. So next development session will be on Monday again. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we are having the integration session continuations. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we are discussing about the web services concept, how to prepare our own customized web services, which can be exposing to the third-party applications. We'll see practically in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow integration session will be at 8 o'clock. 8 to 10 will be having the integration session tomorrow.
Sir, old link.
Sorry?